Hey fellas, it's today's Saturday, the 16th of April, 2016. And yeah, pretty quiet week. Relatively, it's been actually a quiet month, so not really much happening yesterday night. So not really much to talk about in terms of the stock market. But we're still waiting for this confirmation of this reversal. So during the week, what we had was so from last time we spoke, we were probably, we had this kind of channel where we're kind of, waiting for price to give us some kind of signal in terms of which direction it's going to go. And during the week, you can see that it's broken out of that channel. And then we continued higher. We broke through the 208 level that we were potentially looking at as a reversal or a top. And then on Thursday, we put in this doji. Now, when you see this kind of candlestick kind of action, generally indicates a potential trend change. Okay, it doesn't mean that we get in short and we short the market down. It usually means that there's the potential that we might see a reversal. We want to see continuation following on from that to confirm that. So we've already got this kind of bearish candle here that kind of might give us a signal, but it's still too early to tell. So we just have to see what price action does over the next couple of days. Either way, one way or the other, this is going to reverse. Okay, this is definitely going to reverse. It's just a matter of when. The first level we'd be looking for is this kind of 203, 202 range. That would be your line in the sand in terms of confirming a potential downtrend move. So if we see this continue further down and we close below this level here, then we're definitely looking at a potential reversal in the charts. So something to keep on, but not really much to talk about there. Let's look at the Aussie stock market. Aussie market still kind of, we might still see some upside. Okay, I do have a level in mind, which is I think the 5286 level, being the level that we might see a top. If you remember back a few videos I did a while ago, I did say that when you draw these trend lines here, usually it does give you some kind of indication in terms of what price action is looking to do. And every time we've touched that line there, it's kind of just been rejected. So similar things happen here, but we might actually see a breakout. So see how things go. But you can also see here is, and I'm just looking at the daily chart. I'm not going to go down to the lower time frame ones, but you can see here you kind of got this kind of triangle formation, and usually it's going to break out to the upside or the downside. So we might see some continuous price action go down like this, and then it will break out from there, or it'll break out from there. It's really hard to say, or it could even break out from here. So, but I think this week we'll see some downside, and yeah. So just keep an eye on that. But we're kind of still waiting for the market to tell us what direction it's going to go in. The auto market's kind of at that level now where it's kind of like, is it going to be bullish or bearish basically? So, and that's why it's been mainly quiet. I haven't really taken too many trades this month. This month anyway. Now, in terms of currency markets, fair bit's going on. Before I look at the Aussie dollar, I want to look at the pound Aussie, sorry. And pound Aussie has been, it's been beaten down for quite some time. Had this massive rally, back in 2013, and it's just kept going up. But then since then, it's pulled back. If I do just do a simple fib retracement, we're kind of at that 50% level. So usually, if we get a reversal here and shoots back up, then that's indication of continuation to the upside. So this is just purely a retracement. But if we go down to the 61% and cross below that, then we might tell us something a bit more than that. But now, interestingly, if I go down to lower time frames, you'll start to see something interesting because you'll start to see that we are seeing some kind of reversal in place. All right. So whenever I see these kind of patterns, right, like this. Well, I call it kind of a descending bullish kind of, I don't know, there's a proper name for it, but I can't remember. When I see these kind of patterns, it usually indicates a reversal, okay? Now if I go down to the 1 hour, you'll probably see it a bit more clearer. And what price action has actually been doing is it's gone down, but then it's kind of done this stair-stepping motion where it's kind of making lower highs and lower lows, right? And what tends to happen is usually at some point it's going to break that support line and break down. And generally this is what happens when people start to sell, okay? What you'll find is the market quickly just pushes back up again. And that's what I think we're seeing, because if you look more carefully, we pushed back down, but then what we do is we put in the double bottom, all right? So this is a classic reversal pattern, all right? We've gone down, retested some particular support line if we look left. We bounced up, came back down, retested this, and then shot off again, right? Now we've kind of pulled back down, and we've put in a particular trade, what I call is a 2618 trade, right? There's information about that online. It's basically a double top kind of a double bottom, double top kind of trade, but it's a safer kind of trade. So rather than waiting, the normal double bottom, double top rules is that once it kind of does the second low, the next candle you'll want to enter for it to go back up or down, whatever. This 2618 is more of a safer way of doing it, right? It's basically saying that, we've got the confirmation that this is the double bottom, right? And then price shoots back up, which is good. And then at some point, it's going to have to top out and then reverse back down. As it reverses back down, you're kind of looking for this 61% retracement, which is here. So we've got that probably on Friday. So now, pretty much as on Monday, I would probably be looking to enter long in this trade. So that's confirmation for me to enter the trade. And where would I look for targets? The initial target will be at your entries at the 1.83. Initial targets being probably 184 at 185. But this has room. This is just on the 1 hour, so if you look at the daily, there's plenty of room for this to go further up a lot more. So, this could be a really, really good risk reward trade. So just keep that in mind. And that goes back to the Aussie dollar, because these two, like I say all the time, they trade very inversely to each other. So when the pound Aussie is up, Aussie dollar's down. Okay, so, and if we look at here, you can't really tell much at the moment, but we've got under 1 hour. We might even see some kind of pattern that's telling us a reversal's coming up. So, and this is kind of not really telling us much, right? It's just basically at some kind of structure level. But I have been eyeing this level as a potential reversal zone for some time. It's just been hanging around there for quite a while, between these ranges here. So, but expect a reversal. I think initially, we're definitely going to see some move down here to fulfill this pattern. All right. So we've got this channel here, right? So price is obviously trading within this channel. Now, where it breaks out or breaks down from there is really hard to say. I'm thinking more likely it will break down. So we'll see this move break down like this. We might see some kind of move like that, and then confirmation to enter the trade. Okay. Now, in terms of how far the Aussie dollar is going to go down, I'm not too sure, but just have to play it by what we see on the day. So there's two trades there. Another one I don't really talk about much is the Aussie yen. Okay, Aussie dollar yen trade. Now, this one's interesting because, if you look at this here, right, we've been going down since 2014, towards the end of 2014. But overall, it's I don't want to look at the historical price too much, but if you look at, say, where we are now, we're making lower lows, higher lows, lower low, higher low, and so it's clearly trending down. So the sellers are in control, obviously, right? There's no indication of some kind of reversal at the moment. So there's an opportunity to hop onto the trend, right? And we've got this opportunity here where we've kind of gone down, went back up to retest previous structure, then we rolled over, and then we kind of consolidated for a little bit, and then we bounced back up, and then we retested that same line twice, right? So this is obviously a strong very strong level of resistance there that the market's really has tried several times to try and break above. We haven't got that, so the assumption only is that the sellers are really holding this one down. So we're going to look to go bearish. We're looking to go short the market, and so we've got this, we've fallen back down here, and now we've come back down to previous structure, which has been kind of short-term support, I guess, and we're pulling back up. So the question is going to be is where do you look for a shorting opportunity, right? Right. So there's two ways you can do this. You can take the conservative way, right, and look for an opportunity probably up here for it to retest this kind of level again, right? Or you can kind of look for this structure level here for it to retest, right? The question is going to be what's your risk to reward, and is it likely that we're going to see a retest of up here? Because if it does a retest up here and we get a retest here and then falls back down, and you just missed a good trading opportunity. So what I'll do with this is I'm looking to enter it around probably roughly around these levels here, mainly because like again, it's a risk reward. So if I enter the trade, I know that my stops are going to go up about here, about there, right? Stops are going to go there anyway. So with that in mind, if you look at the entry here, you're looking at, say, that's your risk, right? And that's your reward roughly. At least for initially, you're looking at target ones, which is at this structure level. So I'd be taking first targets off here, and there's room for it to even go down even lower than that. So if this is if we're going to see a continuation in the trend, then the assumption is that we're going to continue to see down movement like this. We're hopping onto the trend, so we're hoping that we'll see continuation down there. Now, if we close below here, this level here, then we're going to get some continuation down. But if we kind of close around there, and then what we see is a kind of a reversal back up, then we could see a trend change, right? But still too early to tell, way too early to tell. Just something I'd highlight there. But it's going to be a question of you can go up there and minimize your risk, right? But there's a chance that it might not even reach that far. It might only go up to about there and then roll over. So this is a pretty good opportunity to enter the trend. So that's Aussie yen. US oil is an interesting one. Oil's been rallying back up again. I'm still not totally convinced just yet, but it is, based on the charts, it is looking very like potential opportunity. Now, we're kind of, okay, so just running through this, we kind of did this kind of down move, went back up, consolidated around these levels, we pulled back down, and we kind of stepped our way down, similar to the Aussie yen trade. And now we've kind of hit the bottom. We closed below though, right? So we closed below the previous low. So, but what happened was price kind of reversed back up and then broke this structure level, right? I'd say this is a minor structure level. What we really want to break is this level here. That's the level, the 50s level is where we really want to break it. But so we came back up, came back down to retest the previous top there. Pivot point there, and then we've come back up, and now we've kind of put in kind of a minor kind of double top kind of thing, double top pattern right here. So so that that's potential reversal zone, which we did get. We got a reversal. We got 3 consecutive bearish candles. Now the question is going to be, how far is this going to be a continuation, right? Most people will think that we're going to see a continuation down, right? But if you look at it a bit more carefully, I think we're going to see a breakout. Now, the reason why I say that is because I love trend lines, right? Trend lines usually like to tell me something. And I'll give you an example of what I mean. So, if you do a trend line there, right? I'll just do another one here. We're looking at a potential ascending kind of triangle, right? So an ascending triangle is usually like the triangles like this, and then it kind of does that, and then it does that, right? So it's very level like this. And what happens is at some point it breaks out to the upside, okay? that's what I think we're kind of seeing, right? So we've already put in initial move, retracement, retest. So we're looking into putting in probably another. So this could be a potential level to enter a long position, maybe. All right. So just keep that in mind. Now, if you look left, we've got some structure. We've got some structure here. All right. Some structure here. So support and resistance, support resistance. We've also got some here as well. So this is probably a good area to look for a potential long opportunity. Okay. And the idea is that once we bounce off from here, then we kind of go back up to retest these the 41s level, and we could see a breakout, right? The other thing that could happen is that we can go down, retest this level, and then break and roll over. All right, that's the other option. So, but I think it's worth it. I think it's worth a trade. Oh yeah, one thing. There's a safer way of entering this. So this is more aggressive, right? The safer way to enter this, to be more certain, is to wait for the retracement, right? Don't enter here, and then as it pulls back up to retest these levels, wait for it to break out, right? Let it break out. Once it breaks out, usually it's followed by a retracement to retest the previous structure resistance, which is now going to be support. And once it on the retest, that's where you look for an entry long, okay? And then as it retraces, you enter, and then it goes back up again. Now, it doesn't always retrace. Majority of the time it does, but sometimes it doesn't, okay? So just keep that in mind. So you might be missing out on a trade. But that's the safer way to enter. You know, not many times does it really roll over from there. So there's a potential trade in oil. If not, if it's going to break down, then you're really just waiting for it to. Same thing with this one, where it broke out and we waited for that retracement, right, and then shot back up again. The same thing here. If it rolls back down there, we're looking for a retracement and then an entry, and then followed by continuation. Okay, so that's oil. What else is there? Not really much. The Treasury bond is something I want to look at. Now, the market's not really giving you any clear direction at the moment, right? So, and a lot of people are starting to think, well, the market doesn't make any sense right now, right? The stock markets are going up like crazy for no apparent reason. It's not really, the fundamentals and technicals don't line up at all. But if you look at, say, the bond market, sorry, I think I'm looking at the 10-year, wait, hold on. Treasury, the 30-year Treasury, if I can get it up. Okay, I can't find it. I can't remember what the code is. TNY, maybe? No, doesn't matter. Okay, don't worry about that. I'll talk about that next time, but it was something interesting to look at. What else is there? That's really about it. I'll quickly tell you about the other markets, the other currency pairs. Like I said, all the markets are kind of at that level where something's going to happen, right? You see euro yen here is kind of put in a double bottom, so we're potentially going to see some upside, or it might continue down. We don't know. But if you look at, say, pound yen, on the other hand, you know, we looked like we were going to put in double bottom, but then it broke right through, pulled back up to retest previous structure. Now looks like it's going to get some continuation down. So I'd be looking for a shorting opportunity there, not necessarily a long opportunity. USD, what else is there? Euro AUD, so Euro Aussie as well. You know, I haven't really looked into this one much, but you know, it doesn't really look like anything I'd want to get into right now. Oh yeah, AUD CAD, so Aussie Canada. Aussie Canada is really good for pattern trading. We've got a pattern in place. I think it's a Gartley. So if you do it from swing high to swing low, you've got a potential bat pattern first. So, and there's probably patterns on the other ones too, but I just didn't get a time to really go through it. So do that again. A to B, B to C, C to D, C to D here. So looking at a potential long opportunity at the 92.5 cents level. So that's a trading opportunity there. But the one I'm looking at is more of a structure-based trade. So you can see here we kind of did this push up, and then we did this stair step down, broke all the way down, broke previous support, broke all the way down into this consolidation zone, right? And we pulled back up. And since then, we kind of just, it's very up and down here, as you can see. You're going to be careful with that, especially with Aussie CAD, because it does this a lot. But then if we finally broke down that channel, right? So we finally broke down, kind of did this. We kind of put in this kind of flag pattern there, and then we broke back down into previous structure. So we're retesting these levels again, right? Right. And then we pull back up. Now, what I'm looking for now is, based on that price action, I'm looking for a potential continuation to the downside, okay? And as we come back up, we've kind of retesting this massive area of resistance, right? You can see here we've got, it's tested these levels several times. It's been very whippy as well. So it's for this to break out of that, it's going to be, I don't know how it's going to do it anytime soon. So with that in mind, you're looking for the highest probability trade, right? The highest probability is that it's going to continue down, not up, right? It could break out, I don't know. But most of the time when you see these patterns, it's unlikely that it's going to break out. So I'm looking for a shorting opportunity, and it's basically pulled back up there. So I'm looking for some kind of, say, risk reward. Say that's your risk. So that's where your stops would be placed. Let's say you entered here. You're looking for targets, probably initial targets being around there. Oops. So that gives you a greater than 1-to-1 risk reward, right? And there's opportunity for follow-on targets, right? We take half of our profit here, and then we can look for some continuation further down. And it's highly possible. We also got, remember, keep in mind, we've also got that bat pattern too, right? That I drew before. So you got a counter trend opportunity here as well. So that's a good thing about knowing patterns and price action, right? The two can really be used together to really, give you some really awesome trades and help with some predictive analysis, which is really useful, when you're trading the markets. So what you can do is you look for an entry here. What you're looking for is price action to kind of come down here. Kind of hit that bottom, take some profit off, and what you might find is it's going to pull back somewhere, probably up until this structure zone, and then what we're hoping to see is some continuation down, right? As it goes down, you're looking for more evidence of a potential trend change, all right? So you've got this bat pattern here, which is a bullish pattern, and you're looking for maybe a long entry here, right? If it goes down there, I'd probably take another portion of profits. So I'll probably take it. So if you're going one lot, you'll close half a lot there, for example. You're left with half a lot left, and then you'll close another half there, and then leave the rest for it to potentially go down further. And then enter a long position here for at least a target around there. So let me just draw that one. So the target level from here would be there. And then you're looking at your risk would be about that much, because your stops would have to go below this level. You've seen some of my videos of patterns, but that's what you'd look for a target. And then most likely what's going to happen is, let me just draw that, go back up. Most likely it's going to roll back over for continuation. So that's some kind of analysis on that. It's I can go on for a long time, do a long video on this one, but I'll leave it at that. So it's already long enough. So yeah, but yeah, a lot of trading opportunities this week, and I think it's going to be important. We're going to see a lot of movement, a lot of volatility, which means a lot of potential profits. So best of luck, and I'll talk to you soon. See you guys.